Have you ever noticed that the scariest things in life don't happen with a scream, but in complete silence? I've noticed. I worked as a night janitor at the morgue of St. Augustine City Hospital. And no, it's not the kind of job where corpses jump up and grab your mop. It's boring, routine work. The smell of chemicals soaks into your skin so deep you can't wash it off even after a week of vacation. The only plus was the silence. With my past, I needed silence like air. That night, everything went according to schedule. Friday, the second half of the shift. The clock showed 3:15 in the morning, the deadest time when even the security guards at the entrance are nodding off. There were 7 clients in the cooler, as we called them. 6 in the drawers, 1 on the autopsy table. He'd been brought in around 8 in the evening. A homeless man found under a bridge, no ID, no relatives. Just another John Doe. The orderlies, leaving, just waved a hand. "Alex, clean up the cooler. We'll deal with this one tomorrow." I nodded. My task was simple: mop the floors, wipe down the stainless steel, and check the temperature log. I was scrubbing the floor in the hallway outside the autopsy room when I heard a sound. Not a moan, not a creak. The sound of running water. A thin, barely perceptible ringing. I decided a toilet tank was leaking somewhere, or someone forgot to turn off a faucet in the examination room. I dropped the mop into the bucket and headed toward the sound. The closer I got to the main room where the autopsy table stood, the clearer it became. The sound wasn't coming from a faucet. It was metallic and rhythmic. Drip, drip, drip. I pushed open the heavy, sealed door. I didn't flip the main lights on. Only the duty blue lamp above the table was lit. John Doe's body lay on its back, covered with a sheet, arms at his sides. But something was wrong. I'd worked there for 2 years and had grown accustomed to the fact that death is static. But here, a puddle. On the tiled floor, right beneath the corpse's dangling right hand, a small, dark puddle was spreading. A drop fell right from the tip of his finger. I stepped closer. The smell hit my nose. It wasn't formalin, not the mustiness of old intestines. It was the smell of fresh, warm blood. I know that smell. I served in Iraq, and you can't fool me. I froze. My brain refused to accept the facts. Corpses that have been lying in the cold for hours do not bleed. Blood coagulates, thickens. But this was liquid, crimson blood. I took a step, then another. The rubber of my boots squeaked against the absolute silence. I looked at his face, or rather at what was hidden under the sheet. Did it seem to me, or did the fabric barely noticeably flutter near his mouth? I should have just yanked the sheet down and checked for a pulse. Any normal person would have done that. But I'm not normal. I know the habits of predators. My intuition screamed in my ear, "Don't move!" I stood and watched as the puddle under his hand grew larger. The blood was coming from somewhere under his side. And then I noticed a detail that turned my temples gray in a single second. The sheet was an old hospital one with a gray stripe. And on it, right where the solar plexus would be, a crimson stain was spreading. Not from the outside, but from within, as if a wound had opened there. You'll laugh, but my first thought was, I'm gonna get fired. I didn't wipe down the table before they put him on it, and now leftover fluids are leaking out of him. I'm a janitor, damn it. I grabbed a rag and bent down to wipe the floor by the table. At that exact moment, I heard a voice. It wasn't a scream. It was an exhale. A raspy, wet, gurgling exhale, like the sound of a bubble bursting in mud. "Brother!" The voice wheezed from under the sheet. "Don't call an ambulance." I recoiled. The rag fell from my hands and slapped into the pool of blood. I wanted to scream, but my throat seized up in a spasm. The body on the table slowly, very slowly, bent its right arm at the elbow and placed its palm on its stomach. The sheet stretched over the face, outlining a nose and chin. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice sounding like a mouse's squeak. "Are you alive?" "Quiet," the corpse rasped, not opening its eyes, not lifting its head. "They think I'm dead. It has to be that way." At that moment, the fire exit door in the hallway slammed loudly. That same door that never slams on its own because it has a magnetic lock. Someone had entered the morgue. John Doe on the table twitched as if jolted by electricity. His hand grabbed the edge of the table with such force that his dirty knuckles turned white. "Kill the lights," he ordered. And there was so much animal terror in his voice that I obeyed instantly. I lunged for the breaker panel and killed the main switch. The morgue plunged into absolute inky darkness. Only the temperature sensor indicator on the cooler glowed like a red dot in the corner. "Get on the floor," I whispered, more to myself than to him. I crawled under an empty gurney, pressing my cheek against the cold tile. I heard the footsteps in the hallway getting louder. They were soft footsteps, not the heavy boots of a security guard, not the clicking heels of a nurse. Perfect, trained footsteps of killers, step from toe to heel. The door to the autopsy room opened. A flashlight beam sliced through the darkness, snatching tiles, gurney legs, the edge of a sink out of the gloom. I froze, afraid to breathe. The beam swept across the table. I saw it glide over John Doe's legs, then move higher. The sheet lay flat. No twisted arm, no pool of blood on the floor. I hadn't had time to clean it, but it wasn't there, or was it no longer visible? My corpse had turned back into a perfectly motionless body. The beam lingered on the face, still covered by the cloth. I heard a muffled male voice from the door. "Subject is unstable, package undelivered, he's clean." A second voice, cold as ice. "Check the fingers." I nearly gasped out loud. The flashlight darted to John Doe's hand. From my hiding spot, I watched as a man in a black trench coat stepped forward, took the lifeless hand of the corpse, and brought some kind of device to it. A beep. A fingerprint scanner? The device emitted a short buzz. "It's him," the first voice said. "Do we load him into the incinerator or use acid? Orders are to extract the biocarrier. Cut him up quickly before the garbage man comes back." "I already told you I served in Iraq, right? I'm no hero, but I know how to fight dirty. Only I had no choice. I was unarmed. The only thing in my pocket was a canister of concentrated cleaning solution for removing organic stains. Essentially lye. I pulled out the canister. At the exact second the man in the coat raised a scalpel over John Doe's chest, two things happened simultaneously. First, John Doe came to life, instantly, like a spring. He caught the hand holding the scalpel, twisted the wrist, and plunged the blade straight into the attacker's throat. A fountain of blood hit the ceiling. Second, the other opponent drew a pistol with a suppressor. I burst out from under the gurney and yelled, "Face!" John Doe, a professional to the marrow of his bones, instantly tilted his head to the side, and I sprayed the stream of chemicals straight into the gunman's face. A wild, inhuman shriek. We got out through the basement into the sewers. I was holding him up, him bleeding out, while he led me along some kind of rat trails. Just before dawn, sitting in an abandoned train depot, I asked him, "What biocarrier? What's in you that they wanted to dissolve you?" He looked at me. His eyes were pale blue like a child's. "An information package," he whispered. "In my liver. Not a bullet, not a chip. A special bacterium that stores a code. As long as I'm alive, I'm the key. If I die, the bacterium dies within 2 hours. They wanted to extract the liver and preserve it in saline." He paused, then said something that still makes my blood run cold. "But the funniest part, Alex, I really was dead. Clinical death for 4 minutes when the orderlies picked me up. Because my heart stopped, the bacterium started to die. That's why they were in a hurry. But I came back. And do you know what the scariest part is?" He leaned in close to me, and he smelled of the grave cold, even though it was a stuffy August outside. "I don't know who I am, and I don't know what the code is. The package is damn well protected. But when I was there, on the other side, I saw something." He fell silent, staring at the rising sun. "What?" I couldn't stand it. "There, beyond the line," he said. "Someone is waiting for this code, and they don't care if you're dead or alive to get it. Now we're on the run. Me, a simple janitor named Alex, and a walking dead man carrying the key to hell in his own liver. We change cities every 3 days. I don't know how much longer we'll last, but every night, closing my eyes, I hear that same sound. Drip, drip, Drip. Only now it's not blood dripping. It's time. Hit like on this video if it got under your skin, because if it doesn't get 100,000 views, they'll know I'm in Chicago, and I really don't want to mop floors again, especially in a morgue. See you in the next episode. And remember, if you see fresh blood dripping from a corpse, run and don't look back.